Hello everyone, a new Tower of Adversity is out, and before we jump in I just want to say, please subscribe to support me. It really means a lot and really helps me, and usually I add this towards the end of the video, but adding it over here, so you can just support me. But alright, now we have the adversity clears over here. For the left side I used my Cartathea team, and for the right side I used Augusta because the enemies were error resistant, electro resistant down. And in the middle tower, I tried to be a smarty pants and went against the resistances. Like the enemies had increased fusion resistance, and I was like, let's Aemeath it. Not the brightest decision, but I did not have any other option because my other unit was Hiyuki, and Jinshi actually really sucks at this point of time, and I don't know how to play Zani. Like, I play the usual 1, 2, 3 rotations, and it's kind of rough with Zani because Zani wants quick swap, and it's difficult for me to do quick swap on a controller on a yellow ping when majority of the clears and the guides are all on green ping and all. So I just can't really time it well. So I don't really pay attention to it. But Aemeath can technically clear it even after the increased resistance that these enemies have. Now what you're looking at over here is an S0R1 Aemeath. No sequences, just the normal standard copy. Lynae is S0R0 and Mornye is also S0R0. It took quite a few retries, not gonna lie. Like this Lampy Lumen, whatever you want to call this, I call this the cockroach, the ice cockroach. Its HP is insanely boosted this time, which is actually kind of weird because before it felt like an easy boss, but now it felt like a tank for some reason, and it just kind of reminded me of what Hoyoverse generally does with its endgame modes. It's like they just increase the HP and call it a day. And they do it on bosses that are actually really difficult to play. Like if you increase the HP on the Sentry Construct or Lampy Lumen, that's obviously gonna feel bad compared to if you increase the HP on Crownless or Thundering Memphis, because their attack patterns are much more predictable and they don't roam about the field like Lumen or like the Lampy Lumen or the Sentry Construct do. So I don't know, it just felt bad, but thankfully, gladly, Aemeath was able to clear it with her, I don't know, 300k nukes. It was insane. It was like, it took me quite a few tries, but honestly, it was doable. Standard rotations, just whenever the intro outro pops up, just switch to them. I did the Mornye to Lynae to Aemeath to Mornye, and then on repeat. And these aren't perfect guides. I just look up at a guide on maybe some website and I then experiment it myself and find a comfortable playstyle. So many people recommend using Lynae's burst or liberation immediately. I tend to do it after her triple jump slam because it just feels much more comfortable, and it aligns with my energy regen that she has, with my Lynae has. But overall, I think with a couple of retries, this Lampy Lumen will go down, because even though it has a fusion resistance, it's only 10% more, I guess, and most of its resistance is geared towards ice, cryo, glacio. So Hiyuki would obviously feel bad. And if you have a great team for towers 3 and 4, you can obviously use Lucy over here if you pulled for her. Or Luke, maybe Luke would work, but I don't really know because I don't have Luke, and I wanted to use my Lucy on the third and fourth floors. Now, alright, coming to the second floor of this Tower of Adversity, the first two enemies were actually very easy because they're glacio and fusion just shreds them. Like, it is very easy and they immediately die in I think half a minute or so, maybe 40 seconds. But then the biggest problem hits my Aemeath team, and that is the Inferno Rider, who has fusion resistance, and that is rough. That is absolutely rough, not gonna lie. I took I had to take many retries to get this clear, but I was adamant. I was like, I want to clear this with Aemeath. I have cleared it once with Aemeath, so I can do it again for my video. But once again, stating that if you have, I think Frolova might be better over here, because you have at least 2 enemies or 1 enemy. So there's some sort of grouping for the first 2 or 3 enemies. And then Inferno Rider on a whole is still a simpler boss, and the HP inflation didn't really hit hard on the second floor. So I'm pretty sure that Frolova might be able to do it, especially Frolova's premium team. Like if you pulled for Lucilla or Chi-Win and you have Cantarella and Frolova is 0R1, I think she might be able to do it. I did not try it because I saw the lamp lumen and I was like, we're gonna Aemeath it 100%. And Aemeath she did, but it took me quite a few retries due to that fusion resistance. And Lynae was majorly dealing damage. But okay, Luke, like I said, Luke could work. Luke is very good for it. Also, if you don't want to use Lucy for the second 2 floors, Lucy could work. She's Spectro, she gains the buff and all. It's just perfect for her. But honestly, I can't really think of any other recommendations that won't make you sweat. Like obviously you can clear these endgame floors with any character that you want, but there's a comfortable clear and then there's a sweaty clear, and I always try to focus on comfortable clears because the main aim is to get the astrites and then bail out, because I do not want to spend majority of my time trying to figure out how to defeat these bosses. I want to spend most of my time exploring the world, so that's why I just aim for comfortable clears, get all the rewards and then bail. And like I said, tower floor 2, it honestly feels much more easier, and especially if you're using a Spectro DPS. I mean, I'm pretty sure Zani could also clear it, but obviously you'll have to learn quick swap. I have Zani, Shorekeeper and Phoebe, but I just I just can't make I can't make Zani work for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's probably something that I'm missing here and there, but it is what it is. Like I don't even use her anymore, so it's kind of okay. I kind of regret pulling Zani now though, especially after Lynae, who's like so insane. Like she can be a DPS or a sub DPS. If anything, I believe that everybody should just pull for Lynae and just enjoy her charm, her bike. She's like the MVP of Lynae, and I think she's a much more valuable pull compared to Aemeath or Hiyuki or the main DPSs, because Lynae fits in everywhere. But alright, it took multiple tries, but I finally cleared the Inferno Rider with my Aemeath team. Don't do this at home, kids. It's not worth it. Now for the 3rd floor, I was eager to try my Lucy team because when Whimpering Waste happened, my Lucy was not built and she still does not have her signature weapon, so she's running on the Lynae standard 5-star banner. I don't think it's called the Hominizer or something. And Rebecca's on Static Mist, which I just gave her from Carlotta, I think. Shorekeeper once again S0R0, Rebecca S0R0. Lucy over here is S2R0. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I got very lucky with Lucy pulls. My first copy of Lucy took around 70 pulls or so, but then I got another copy within 15 pulls, like 6 singles. And then I got another copy within 10 pulls. So it was actually insane. Like I think in about 100 pulls or so, I got 3 copies of Lucy, and I was like barely 4 pulls away from getting the free convene band. So now at this moment, like after recording this, I currently own an S3 Lucy. So yeah, that definitely makes things a lot more simpler. Although I've heard that S3 Lucy is equivalent to Hiyuki at S0. I don't know how much of that is true, but I just like to see sequences on characters, and I'm glad that Lucy is the first character that I think that have S3. Like none of my 5-star characters are more than S2, I believe, since I've not lost a lot of 50/50s in this game. But once again stating, Lucy is actually really broken, and this entire floor 3 and floor 4 are tailor-made for her. But I've seen clears and I've seen people do clears with Augusta, with Jinshi, with Zani. The only difference was that they had Rebecca in the team, and I think Rebecca is a free unit, so everybody should have her and should build her, because I think she's a really good unit, especially for buffing other characters. Like if you don't have Yono, Rebecca is really good. and she deals massive damage on her own as well. Like, you know, she has a good amount of damage in her own base kit, so it's actually quite nice. Like, look at the damage that she does, and this is on static miss, and I think 223 crit damage, so it's kind of insane, not gonna lie. Overall, pretty easy clear. I don't like the monkey because he moves a lot, like a lot, but with Lucy, it felt like, you know, a fight between equals where you're moving a lot and I'm moving a lot. The only problem that I find in the Lucy team is that, you know, once you get S1, so you don't get interrupted, and that makes her quite squishy because I don't really notice when the dodge counters appear or when I actually take damage. So Lucy invariably takes a lot of damage while I'm fighting, and I fight reckless. So it's kind of rough and I need to manage Lucy's HP at times, but overall still very easy clears, and I honestly prefer keeping Shorekeeper compared to Mornye. It's probably because my Mornye isn't S1. Like, if I had S1 Mornye, I'm pretty sure she would be better. But with that 8-second cooldown on Mornye's, I think, tune break buff, Rebecca's entire rotation doesn't last for more than 8 seconds. And it takes a lot of time for me to go from Rebecca to Lucy. So I think Mornye right now isn't that good compared to Shorekeeper. Also, I love the Lucy animation so much. It reminds me so much of Cyberpunk. It is absolutely badass. I really like the way that they implemented the collab characters. Now, right, for the final floor, we go once again with the Lucy team. And I honestly have no idea how you're going to do this if you don't have any other characters, because these two options that they put, first of all, it's error resistance. So you can't bring out your Cardathea teams. You can't bring out Sigrica. And GN is cooked. I mean, he's obviously cooked since 2.x began, but let's just not talk about that. It's kind of rough, and these two enemies are relentless. The Nameless Traveler, Nameless Astronaut, I just call him the Astronaut, he's actually quite annoying. Like, I find him to be the most annoying boss in Tower of Adversity. I don't really mind his hologram stage because the hologram has this easy cheese strat where you just grapple up to the top and, you know, he deals massive true damage to himself. But over here, he moves a lot, he hits a lot, he counters a lot, and it's just rough. It is absolutely rough, and you don't really break his jetpack that quickly unless you're running Tune Strain, I believe. And for some reason, my luck has been absolute crap because I didn't pull for Luke. I'm not really fond of him, and I also didn't have enough pulls because, you know, I went all out on Aemeath. So I don't have a a Tune Strain DPS, and I didn't pull for Denia as well because, you know, I was saving for Lucy. So I don't have Denia, so no Fusion Burst or Tune Strain there as well. So it's basically like, you know, I'm pretty much screwed all the time whenever Nameless Traveler appears, and I just hope for the best for my characters, like, you know, deal massive damage. I noticed Lucy does a good amount of damage, but I do not really know how much of my S2 is really helping me over here. I'm pretty sure it's a lot. But yeah, I think Rebecca is actually much more important over here because she removes the all enemy attribute resistance or all resistance, whatever the enemy has, the buff that it has. And one other thing that I found to be problematic this time around, especially when using Lucy team, when the Lucy team, was that, you know, against these bosses there was a lot of special effects, and when you have a lot of special effects, it's tough to see when the enemy is attacking, when you're attacking, when there's a dodge counter, when there's a proper counter, and it's kind of like, I wish they toned down on the visual effects because sometimes it just gets kind of haphazard and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just smashing my buttons here and there. It's kind of difficult, not gonna lie. But still, I don't think floor 3 and floor 4 had all HP inflations. I think the biggest problem was floor 1, which is kind of weird because, you know, I would think that, you know, they would put HP inflation in floor 4, But nope, the entry point is the toughest stage, and then it's all clear sailing, which is kind of weird, which is like very, very weird. Even when I did it, like, without recording, when I attempted it for the first time, I spent quite a lot of time on the Lampy Lumen compared to, like, these other floors, where I think I spent maybe 2 or 3 more retries and then I got the clear. But it is what it is. Like, I have no idea what they're doing. I just hope it's not a normal thing going forward. Like, otherwise this would just become the Hoyofication of Wuthering Waves, where they'll just HP inflate everything. But Whimpering Waste is already facing it, and that's part of the reason why I didn't post a Whimpering Waste video, because it felt bad to actually get S rank even, and I wanted to use Lucy, but I don't have her R1, so I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, that was it. Those were my clears, and those are my thoughts on this current Tower of Adversity, which was actually really rough. Like, really, really rough. And I'm just quite sad that, that HP is getting inflated. It's kind of like Star Rail, what happened to them during Amphoreus, where there was this sudden jump post Casterus, and it just soured my mood till this day. Like, I don't even care about the game anymore. I just play for the story. So I hope Wuthering Waves does not go that route. And if they go, I mean, I'll play for the story again. It is what it is. But yeah, here are my builds. Not the really best builds, because the echoes that I get are absolutely terrible. But you just gotta make do with what you get. I mean, I look at echoes and I see 2 crit stats, I'm happy. I don't really go for the min-maxing 4 stat, 5 stat stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Those are the clears. You'll see the builds. Nothing too broken. Like, nothing too broken. It's just saving, planning, getting weapons for some characters that I absolutely love, like Aemeath. I'm planning to get a Lucy weapon soon. I probably would get it before the end of the banner. And no Rebecca weapon, so that's kind of a sad thing for me, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I can't really complain when the game gave me two Lucy copies within 20 pulls, so I'm just happy. I'm a happy man at that point. Alright, thanks for watching, and if you've stuck around till here, please subscribe. Once again, I'm saying please subscribe to support me. It really means a lot. And until then, let me know how your clears were. And yeah, did you pull for Lucy or Lucilla, or whoever you're waiting for? I don't think I'll be able to get Sui Sui and Yap Yap Alter. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough time ahead for me, because I'm broke. But it is what it is. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.